In this video, we are going to learn about the cardiac cycle. So, cardiac cycle, basically, the word cardiac is used for heart. So, the timing of cardiac cycle, one cycle is zero point 0.8 seconds. What is this cardiac cycle? Actually, suppose your heart is beating 72 times per minute. So, this is heart 1 sound. This is heart 2 beat. This is third heartbeat. So, the timing between first and second heartbeat. Similarly, the timing between second and third heartbeat. So, this timing is known as the cardiac cycle, and the events which will occur during this timing are the events of cardiac cycle. So basically there are three events of the cardiac cycle. The very first is simultaneous contraction of auricles. Second one is simultaneous contraction of ventricles. Third one is relaxation of both auricles and ventricles. What we are talking here about, the heart chambers, that is right auricle, right ventricle, left auricle and left ventricle. So what happens? This is vena cava bringing deoxygenated blood. Right ventricle is sending the blood for purification to the lungs. Lung is sending blood to left auricle. Left auricle sends blood to left ventricle. Then left ventricle send to the body tissues. This is basically the cycle. So what happens? During the very first zero point 0.1 second, these both chambers, right auricle and left auricle, contracts to pass the blood to right ventricle and left ventricle. This event takes 0.1 second. Now comes your second event, that is ventricular systole. What happens? Again the right ventricle and left ventricle contracts to send the blood to the lungs by right ventricle, and left ventricle contracts to send the blood to body tissues. This contraction happens for 0.3 second. Now comes the timing of joint relaxation. During this timing, what happens? This is basically the point where the blood will be collected. In this, blood will be collected in right auricle and right and left auricle. The blood will be collected in right auricle by the tissues, that is brought by the vena cava, and in left auricle the blood which was sent by the lungs through pulmonary veins. This is the joint relaxation, or you can say diastole. Now comes the pulse rate. Actually, pulse rate is basically the measure of heartbeat. Suppose you don't have stethoscope, now you want to calculate the heartbeat. So roughly the pulse rate is equal to the heartbeat in healthy individual. So how this pulse rate is calculated? What happens? This is your hand. Artery, in arteries blood flows with a high speed, so there will be regular jerks. So these jerks, or you can say disturbances, are known with the name of pulses, and each jerk marks the beginning of new ventricle contraction or a new pulse. The pulse can be felt with the fingertips, as you can see here, the fingertips. So you can use your fingertips of the opposite hand even to feel your pulse. What happens? This is your hand. I know this is a very bad diagram, but still manage with this one. This is your thumb, right? This is your little finger. The artery which is on the side of thumb is known with the name of radial artery, and the artery which is on the side of little finger is actually the ulnar artery. But you don't use the ulnar artery because it is not palpable, means you cannot feel. But radial artery you can very easily feel on your hand. So radial artery is used to measure the pulse rate or count the pulse rate. So the pulse rate is the number of pulses in 1 minute. It is equal to the heartbeat rate and it is 72 times per minute for a normal healthy person. By checking the pulse rate of a person, doctor get important information on the condition of heart and blood vessels also. Now comes the SEL pacemaker, that is sinoatrial node. So first of all, let us understand that what is sinoatrial node. Actually, it is a group of specialized muscle which is located in your right atrium. Suppose this is your right atrium. I have drawn only one chamber. So here in this corner you have SA node, that is sinoatrial node, and here in this lower corner you have again a specialized bundle of muscles, that is AV node. The thing is, this SA node is self-excitable. It generates a potential, it generates a contraction, and this signal is sent to this AV node for the contraction. Then this contraction power is passed to remaining heart with the help of bundle of his in the septum and Purkinje fibers in this wall, as it is shown in the diagram also. So Purkinje fibers, as you can observe here, this is bundle of his, and this Purkinje fibers is actually the continuation of this bundle of his, right? So as I have already told you that SA node is self-excitable, it generates a potential, means it is setting a pace, it is setting a heart conduction, it is setting a heartbeat. Therefore, it is also known with the name of pacemaker. Now, let us understand this paragraph. So, pumping action of heart is generated and regulated by an electrical conducting system of heart which coordinates the contraction of various chambers of heart. Why it is written here that electrical conducting system? If I tell you or if I ask you what is electricity, you know that electricity is the movement of charges, right? So here also there happens a movement of charges, not the charges of electrical system in your household, but it is the movement of ions like calcium, sodium and potassium. These ions are responsible for membrane potential and for changing the potentials, so that potential is responsible for generating a conduction, and this conducting system consists of SA node, I have told you pacemaker, AV node, that is located at the base of right auricle, here it is located at the base, bundle of his or atrioventricle or AV bundle located at the septum of heart, see in this diagram I have told you, and Purkinje fibers which are branching of bundle of his. So now let us understand sinoatrial node, because that is the main hero of our system. So it is a small crescentic mass. Crescentic means looking like a moon. So it will be like this. So this is like crescent. So crescenting mass of specialized cardiac muscles. It is located in the upper wall of right atrium, as you have seen in the diagram also. It is the upper wall. The electrical impulse are generated by the SA node. We have already discussed. It is the pacemaker, and this is spontaneous and continuously at regular interval. Continuously, that is why we are getting 72 times beat per minute. In an adult, SA node sends out impulse 60 to 100 times per minute. Impulse initiates heartbeat, sets the heart's rhythm. Therefore, SA node is described as pacemaker. Now comes the conduction of heartbeat. As I have already told you that here it is SA node, here it is AV node. Right? This is the rough diagram. I will explain you in the fair diagram also. SA node will send the signal to AV node. This AV node will pass the signal to bundle of his. That bundle of his is located in the septum, as you can see in this diagram. Also, this is SA node, this is AV node. This bundle of his is also known with the other names we have read, that is AV bundle, atrioventricle bundle, right? Now, this bundle of his has the branching fibers. These branching fibers are known with the name of Purkinje fibers. These Purkinje fibers, as you can see, these are located in the heart walls of left ventricle and right ventricle. So, this is basically the conduction system. Therefore, it is here written that electrical impulses are generated by sinoatrial node, cause atria to contract. These electrical impulses are picked up by AV node. You can see here also. Impulses from AV node are transmitted to the walls of ventricle through the bundle of disc and its branches, Purkinje fibers, which cause ventricles to contract. I hope the topic is clear to you. Thank you.